What's up, guys? Welcome back to Steve's RC. Today we have a very exciting exclusive on the NX70, and I say exclusive because we weren't able to get enough of these out to our other YouTube partners, and for that, guys, I apologize. I grabbed the one from our sales training, the one that we've used in marketing for all of our testing and playing with and using it to get features and benefits, and this is the one that I decided to bring home for the night to go out, stand in the backyard, and shoot a little video. So for all of you other YouTube partners out there, guys, I apologize. You'll be getting yours soon. And for the rest of you customers out there, you guys will be getting this pretty soon as well. This will be headed to dealers very shortly. This is the all-new NX7E from Spektrum, and it fits right in the line between the NX6E and the NX8E. And of course, you then can move up to the NX6, NX8 if you want more and more features. Now, the first question you may ask is, holy crap, that thing looks different. Why did they go such a different route with the color scheme or the overall design of this radio? And to be fair, a lot of that question comes down to, we just wanted to, and really wanted this to look really modernized and different for the entry-level point for Spektrum. So it does sort of look differently than the other NX radios in the lineup. I'll jump right into some of the cool features with this. First thing you'll notice obviously is the color, but we do also have this bezel lighting system that is now on here and is orange. And I think it does look really, really nice. And when the radio is charging, it does change color as well to kind of a red or a green. So that's a really nice, just a nice added benefit. It makes the radio look really good and doesn't blind you. I'm outside, it's the evening, it's about 6:30 p.m. and you can see it kind of nicely. It doesn't blind you when you look down at the radio. It does still have all of the standard NX style programming, so you're going to get that multiple color palettes on the screen, and I can't show you very well here, but I'll do some close-ups, or you can go ahead and check out the Spektrum video on Horizon Hobby Products or the Spektrum YouTube channel. But all that same programming is sort of there. The one thing you don't get with the NX7E is Wi-Fi for updates, so you will still have to do SD card updating, so you do need to keep that in mind. It doesn't do Wi-Fi like the standard NX radios. And just to note, the gimbals are standard gimbals, they're not Hall effect gimbals. And if you do want to do wireless buddy boxing with this, meaning this is the kind of the master radio and you have another radio that binds to it, you would need to bind it or add a satellite receiver to this radio and shove it in the battery compartment. Speaking of the battery compartment, it does come with a large enough battery. As you guys know, this stuff lasts quite a while, and you can upgrade to what battery goes, I think, in the NX6 and NX8. You've got plenty of room for the upgraded battery pack. So it's a small 2000. I think you can upgrade to the 6000 without a problem to get even more battery life. So that's really nice. The battery tray, or the battery case, speaking of which, comes with a system that you can't open with your finger, and that's so that you can't accidentally pop it open and have the battery fall out while you're at the field. But also it does have this little key, and this little key plugs into the bottom of the radio right here for safekeeping. It's a very simple key. You could almost use a flathead screwdriver, but this little key will open up your battery tray just like that. And so it's actually kind of a nice design. You can't grab it, accidentally bump it, and get this to fall out, and heaven forbid your battery falls out while you're flying. You definitely don't want that. This key also does something interesting. It actually opens up the bezels for your gimbals. And in here, you guys can see, hopefully you can get some focus there. In here, you've got all of your adjustments that you would normally have, as well as your mode changes for you non-Mode 2 users. So really nice setup there. That key does a lot for the radio, and again, you could probably use a flathead screwdriver, but Spektrum gives you this key, and you can store it right on the bottom of the radio, which is kind of cool. SD card, micro SD on the bottom. Also, nice little feature here, the neck strap plug-in is actually unlockable, and you can remove it like that. And it also comes with this angled version, and it comes with a single hump, which is I don't have with me, but it would just be like that big right there. So we'll leave it on the ground for now. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, retractable antenna, really nice and flat here, really flush, kind of cool design as well. And the standard switches on here, you've got your knob up here, which looks a little different than the standard Spektrum system. And we've got all of our switches encased inside the radio. And if I get a little close here, it's in cinematic view, I shouldn't have done this, but you can see there's no switch nuts on the outside of this radio. So everything's protected inside of here. Now, that may be more difficult for adjusting and changing out switches, which Spektrum doesn't want you doing anyway. They would rather you send it in and make it fixed by a proper technician, but it definitely makes them so that they can't really loosen up inside the radio, so that's kind of a nice setup as well. To turn the radio on and off is like the NX6E or NX8E, just press in and hold, also similar to the NX20, so that's pretty standard. There's not a switch here to flip back and forth. You actually have to hold it for a period of time so that you can't turn it off in flight. On the back of the radio, we do have the bezels for a third-party module. A lot of times guys will use like a Crossfire from Team Black Sheep, and of course you have the serial port you're used to seeing on other radio systems. This serial port, however, keep in mind, is just communication. It's not powered, so you will have to power your module externally. You only start to get power on these serial ports unless you get to the NX10, so keep that in mind. USB-C as well, right here on the radio, charges on any standard phone charger. Pretty simple stuff. Trimmers are on the front and pretty standard from Spektrum. They are silver plated, so they kind of look nice. Pretty standard trimmers. The buttons are a little different here. And again, turning the radio on is as simple as pressing and holding, and it will turn on. Of course, I got my throttle up. And you've got your standard Spektrum buttons for changing models and that sort of thing. So keep in mind too, you also have, hopefully we can get this focused, you also have all of your Binding-Fly templates and that sort of thing inside the radio. So you will be able to go in and select that Timber, select that Apprentice, select that Blade Heli, and get the programming to be right on your radio. It's all built into the programming. So really nice there. It's full 7 channels, guys. That's the NX7E. The NX6E has a kind of hidden channel. NX6 has a hidden channel. That's kind of for like safe technology to be able to flip it back and forth and having gear and having flaps. This is a full 7-channel system, so it has full resolution on all 7 channels. So if you do need to operate something else, you can use that. Do I recommend this for someone in getting into the hobby? 100%, guys. This radio will grow with you all the way through the E-flite lineup. You will even be able to get into some larger scale models that don't require more than 7 channels. When it comes to receivers, an 8-channel receiver will allow you to use all 7 channels. Spektrum does not sell a 7-channel specific receiver, so I recommend you go to a full 8-channel receiver. If you're going to want to use all 7 channels on this, you'll just have a spare channel for a power port or something else. Outside of that, really like it so far. Very comfortable. Reminds me, I've been in this hobby for a while, reminds me very much of my DX9. Obviously, it's all plastic grips, so it's not going to have that rubberized feel. But again, they're going for price point here, guys. This radio comes in at $299.99 in the US. That is the MAP price. So it's not on the high end of the spectrum, no pun intended, but it's definitely a good value for anyone who's getting into the Bind-N-Fly world. So E-flite, Hobby Zone. Obviously it's designed for that entry point into the hobby. And then past this, if you're not looking for kind of an entry point radio, start looking at your NX8. That's what I would jump to right after this. The NX6 goes down a channel, so you really wouldn't need that unless you're looking for a price point play, because you still have that 7th hidden channel there. But go to your NX8, then go to your NX10. Honestly, if you're going to get into giant scale at some point in your life, just go all the way up to something like a 20 or even the 14. But guys, that's a quick overview of the NX7E. I'm not going to be able to fly tonight. I do have to get to a dinner, but I wanted to make this video quickly before the launch tomorrow morning, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thanks so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one at Steve's RC. See you later.